Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you for coming. And thank you, Professor Sharma, for the lovely intro. Let me begin by giving a little bit of introduction about myself and the organization that I represent. My name is Vivek. I handle the sales operations for Anthology, the entire portfolio across the region of India. And just a few words about Anthology, because I just want to give a perspective of what we do, and that'll give a little bit more perspective about things that we are going to discuss. Anthology is the #1 edtech ecosystem globally, and the word itself suggests that it's coming together of the best things. There are about 4 or 5 companies which came together, which were the best in breed. In their own respective edtech fields, they came together, and we couldn't think of a more apt name than Anthology. And the latest entrant into this fold of Anthology was something which would be strikingly familiar for all of you, which is Blackboard LMS, which is the #1 LMS in the world. So Anthology has been partnering with about 2,500 institutions over the past several decades, and helping these 2,500 institutions move towards their learning outcomes and goals. And what really are assessments? Assessment is nothing but how you determine whether you are really moving towards those goals. How are you going away? Are you moving towards? What are you trending at? And the previous speakers have given primarily problem statements. Dominic spoke about what is the purpose of education. Mani spoke about the problem of the outcome of education in terms of employability. Professor Shinoy spoke about how it has to be relevant and cater to all types of institutions, and he spoke about the unique problems that his institution is facing. So I want to give a bit of a perspective about that, and I will sufficiently make up for the lack of use of the word assessments by Dominic. And by giving what is really happening in assessments and education in India as a whole, there are 2 phenomena which have obviously caused seismic changes in assessments and education as a whole. One is obviously COVID-19, the small thing which happened, which nobody noticed, right? And it brought the future forward by about 5 years. So technology which we thought is going to be mainstream later, it's mainstream right now. And the other phenomenon which is happening as we speak, is playing out, is the NEP 2020. And these 2 together are creating a lot of changes, right? Especially in the assessment world. And there are 3 things that when we speak to prospects and customers, we see what are the trends which are happening. The #1 trend in the field of assessment which is happening is a conscious, at least, intent to move from a summative assessment environment to a formative assessment. Summative, as you would all know, is the end of term, high stakes, make or break, 3-hour joyful experience that we've all been through, right? Whereas formative is that periodic, timely, low stakes, quick feedback thing which adds up to your thing. Summative, as you would probably know, tells you how the student has done. Formative tells you how the student is doing. So you have a leeway of making tweaks to your learning, teaching, and even curriculum. The second thing which we are seeing as an intent, again, execution is still playing out, but at least there's a strong intent to move from rote learning to something which assesses critical thinking in terms of higher order thinking skills, HOTS, as it's called. It throws up very unique challenges in terms of assessments. How do you really assess HOTS? It's easier to assess students on the ability to recall, but higher order thinking skills is a bit of a challenge. The other trend that we are seeing in education, and especially assessment, and the NEP calls this out quite explicitly, is that more and more autonomy and flexibility needs to be placed in the hands of teachers, not only to design their curriculum and the way they teach, but also in the way they assess the students. So there has to be, right now there is a cookie cutter kind of an approach towards examinations. And as we discussed, that's probably highly inadequate to assess where the student is going. So we need to think about things which can give that flexibility back in the hands of the faculty. So my time is almost up. I will quietly go back and hand it over to Dominic. Thank you.